China is trying to become a soft power country like Korea, but Chinese and foreigners outside China who are looking at it don't think it will be possible. We've gathered their harsh criticisms about why.
I would like to point out the paradox that China wants to spread its culture while being closed to external influences.
China's PR/soft power attempts always feel so eerie and grotesque, as if someone had produced them with a gun to their head.
If the Chinese government refuses to be influenced by other cultures but wants its culture to be influenced by others, this hypocrisy and double standards ruin their ability to create soft power. And their refusal to let their people use the internet freely and have free speech is also stopping them.
Art has to be open for interpretation. If artists only want one kind of interpretation from their audiences, it's not art anymore. It's propaganda.
If many countries are not economically handcuffed with China, we can let China become a bigger North Korea.
Currently, China's soft power is identified with COVID and fentanyl, which is not good to look at, but why they are famous is what comes to mind when thinking of China.
The outlines of the issues I saw while leaving China and studying abroad were revealed. I used the media not to make the Chinese understand China, but to make them feel good. Culture export should be communicated, not just speaking, without caring about the audience.
As someone who has lived in China or other countries, China's censorship is so unrealistic.
What is really disappointing is China's policy of placing restrictions on its own media.
I really hope that China will one day allow the Chinese to participate in other parts of the world, especially through social media, but it seems hopeless.
I think Xi's xenophobic policies and propaganda have really curbed the growth of cultural exports and exchanges.
The only reason why Russia, China and North Korea don't have this mythical soft power is because they can't share it, because they don't allow their people to talk to other cultures, so they're not related.
China, by the way, also has a bad atmosphere, such as copying good and creative ideas invented by other countries.
Chinese people seem to think of copying ideas as an easy, efficient way to make money or achieve success. Tencent is a prime example. It has a lot of influence on not only ideology but also the current economic structure and knowledge system in China. This is because people generally have such a time-consuming passion for innovation and self-development in these situations.
Even without Googling, Japan and Korea will be the most preferred countries for Americans.
Examples of soft power from the Chinese were Singaporean, Malaysian communities, Hong Kong movies, and countless other products named Made in Taiwan. We thought it was China, but it had nothing to do with China itself.
An important reason why China is struggling to make soft power is that the Chinese government wants other countries to be influenced by their culture, but they are also reluctant to be influenced by other cultures, which I think is a big obstacle for them not to make soft power.
Being able to speak Mandarin while growing up as a Chinese American has never been cool. People flock to learn Korean and Japanese, allowing them to watch their favorite K-pop videos or dramas without subtitles, or watching animations and waiting for a Japanese video game to be translated. The Chinese language has never created such a cultural respect among the younger generation.
One of the main differences between China versus Korea and Japan is that the latter countries' films are not afraid to show the world the negative side of their culture. Think about Parasite and Satoshi Kon's films. China needs huge political changes to achieve its soft power potential.
K-pop and animation are very influential here in America. I'm working in a fast food chain right now, and it's not that rare anymore to listen to K-pop music on the radio wearing an animation shirt every 10th drive-thru.
Personally, I think it has a lot to do with the process of actively dismantling and transforming China's cultural identity into other ideals during the Mao era. That period of stagnation is really a big set.
I feel for many people that the Chinese government's actions are keeping cultural artists on their toes. I understand it to some extent, but I'm very sorry because they didn't do anything wrong.
I think it's another dimension to personal relationships. I have several Korean friends as an American, and I think the K-wave gave me an instant positive view of Korea. However, my Chinese American friends have many family members who fled the mainland during the Civil War. Even if their family members are here recently, they don't like the overbearing authoritarian regime in modern China at all, especially compared to political freedom in the United States.
Chinese media is quite influential in Southeast Asia in part because of the large Chinese diaspora. Censorship, not so subtle propaganda from their entertainment art.
and cultural boycotts from other Asian countries affect my own personal ethical and moral disagreements with the Chinese Communist Party and how they operate. That's all why I recently gave up Chinese media.